Hi guys, and welcome back to Top Speed Golf. I'm Clay Ballard, and today I'm going to do one of the most important videos that I've ever done. And that's because it applies to every facet of the swing. Almost any problem that you can have, this technique, this physical thing that's happening to your swing will affect every single one of those. We're going to talk about how to stop coming over the top and hitting that slice, how to stop blocking shots way out to the right. I know it's really frustrating when we do that. How to stop chunking the ball, how to get more lag, how to get more forward shaft lean. We're going to do all that in this one video. And it all comes down to momentum in your golf swing. Once we can understand how to properly use momentum, the game gets a whole lot easier. So here as we're setting up, I'm going to draw a line from the hosel of my club. This is going to help me measure my swing plane. I'm going to draw a line from the hosel of my club up through my right elbow at address, and my camera should be shooting right down my toe line and toward the target out in the distance. So if I draw this line on here, that's where my swing plane is going to be as I'm hitting the ball and coming through the ball. So as my club is traveling downward, making contact with the ball, and then through in the release, it should be traveling right down this swing plane. And one thing your body's really good at, everybody's body is really good at, is we all have kind of an idea, a subconscious thing in our head where our body wants to put our club on that swing plane. So it's always fighting to get back on that swing plane as we hit the ball. So if I'm coming over the top, that simply means that as my club is swinging down, I'm outside over the top of this swing plane and swinging right to left across this ball. And that creates a slice or a left to right pattern on the golf shot. So those of you who are struggling being over the top, chopping down into it too steep, usually what's happening is momentum is moving the club in that direction. And I'll explain what I mean by that. As we start our backswing, if my club now comes inside this swing plane line, so instead of coming back on that plane, it comes back to the inside of that. Now I'm way back inside. Naturally what's going to happen is momentum is going to carry me over the top in the downswing, and I'm going to go right to left across the ball. So a lot of times when people are trying to fix their over the top right to left shot, they try to come back more to the inside. That only creates more momentum and more of an over the top move coming down. What we actually want to do is the opposite of that. If you're coming over the top of the golf ball right to left across it and you're dragging the club back inside, you're going to have the feeling that you're bringing the club back more outside, and momentum is going to help it drop in and then kick out and release. Now in reality, what we want to do is we want to stay parallel to that plane line. So if I set up here again, if I travel up this plane line, I'm parallel to that as I'm going to the top, and then I'm going to drop down above that. I'll be above the swing plane line, but I'm parallel at the top. And then as I come down, I'm going to drop back down on that line and then come through and be parallel as I finish the swing. So ideally what's happening with that club is it's going higher and lower, but it's staying parallel with that pretty much the whole time. So for you over the top players that are normally doing here and over the top, you're going to have a feeling like you go there and that way. But if you look at out on camera, you're actually going to see you're staying pretty close to being on plane. It's going to help you get back to where you need to be. Now the opposite problem is when we come inside and we block that ball a mile to the right. Usually better players get a lot of lag, swing out to the right, and the ball goes a mile to the right. Really frustrating shot there too. Usually what's happening there is the club gets a little steeper above that plane. Think about like a Jim Furyk. Club gets steeper and then it drops in too much underneath. This is exactly what the A-swing, the David Ledbetter A-swing is teaching you to do. That's why it helps people to hit a better draw sometimes, but if you actually do that, if you have your club out here and then dropping in, it's going to lead to a little bit of inconsistency. You're going to have a tough time trying to find your swing plate in the downswing. A lot of times you're going to get too far from the inside. You're going to start blocking shots well to the right after you've done that for a little while. So those two things really, momentum plays a big role in trying to get that club on plane. Now last thing, or another thing here, momentum plays a role in, is staying in your posture. So a lot of people have trouble standing up out of their posture, and they feel like they're coming up out of the shot, their head's raising up, they're looking off the ball. We obviously want to stay down and through as we're doing that. Well, the same thing applies here. If I start out in a low posture, I'm really bent down, my natural inclination is to stand up. We're always going to do the opposite of where we start. If I can start a little bit higher, you watch Adam Scott, old Tiger Woods from back in 2000, a lot of those players starting very high. Now as they start their downswing, I'm starting out very high and then I'm coming down, staying in my posture, and then coming on through. So actually starting out a little higher is going to help you to stay down in your posture. If you start out low, the momentum of your body is going to start to stand you up out of that posture. So if you're struggling with that, I recommend staying very tall and then feel like you're moving down through contact, which is really going to help you with that. Now let's go ahead, we're going to change the camera angle here for a second, and we're going to talk about how we can get more lag, more forward shaft lean, and actually stop chunking the ball, which is another big problem in the golf swing. All right, so the same thing happens in the golf swing when we're talking about chunking the ball. And remember, whichever way we start, momentum is going to carry us the other direction. So the reverse pivot is a big problem in golf. And what I see people do that struggle with chunking is in the backswing, they're actually leaning toward the target, the direction I'm going to hit the ball. My upper body's leaning back this way. And as I make a downswing, I'm trying to get my balance back and I end up falling away from the ball. Now, as I fall away, that's going to cause me to hit behind the ball like this. So in the backswing, we're leaning left onto our left foot, and then we're falling away onto our right foot as we start down. So we started left, we're always going to move back to the right. Now, the proper way to do this is to get some spine tilt like we talk about in the top speed golf system. And then as we turn to the top, now we're going to be loaded up on our right foot, and then we can shift on through to the left, hitting that nice down and through divot. So if you're struggling, you're chunking over and over again, check that spine tilt. You want to be tilted a little bit away from the target. As you go to the top of the swing, I want to be on the inside of my right foot. As I swing down, I want to come all the way on through to the left. Now, lag and forward shaft lean, this is probably the biggest mistake that I see a lot of times, is we want to get more forward shaft lean, we want to get more lag. And for forward shaft lean, what I'll see people do a lot of times, they start out thinking, I'm going to hold this angle. And again, momentum, we're always passing through being very soft, but they'll try to get a lot of forward shaft lean here. I'm going to hold this angle and try to hold on. Well, naturally what happens if I start with a bunch of forward shaft lean, as I pick that club up, I'm going to start casting as I come down and lose that forward shaft lean as I hit the shot. What I actually want to do is feel like I'm going to exaggerate here, but my hands are going to go back the opposite of forward shaft lean, and then as I start down, now I'm going to have a ton. So try out some little chip shots like this, where you actually go the opposite of forward shaft lean, and then you hit some shots, and you'll notice right away that club face starts closing down. You get a lot more forward shaft lean without even thinking about it. And then finally, the last thing, the same thing happens with lag. The biggest thing that I see people do is they try to set this lag really early and hold on to that. And again, same theme here. If we do this early, we're always going to move away from that. We want to actually have less lag, and then as we start down, we're creating more lag, and then we can release it out in front. So you never want to try to start where you want to end up. Everything's moving and flowing in the golf swing. You always want to start a little bit opposite of that, and that's going to help you to get there with momentum. So keep that in mind whenever you're working on something, and I guarantee it'll get you right back on track. Good luck to you guys. I'll see y'all soon. All right, guys, hope y'all really enjoyed this video. If you did, I got a great bonus for you. I'm going to play a preview of a lag video. Just go ahead and click the link in the screen or down below in the description. You'll be able to watch that thing instantly, and it's going to help you with your #1 lag mistake. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel. That way you'll see our latest, greatest videos. And if you have any questions, post them in the comments below, and click the thumbs up button. Those likes always help us to support our channel and to help us grow. So good luck to you guys. I'll see y'all soon. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see. And in this drill, what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be. I want to use the full length of this club to build lag and then release lag.